Oh yeah, happy Friday, Mario.
Happy Friday, man.
Oh, welcome one and all to our Starseed Happy Hour happening here at Cosmic Jesters. It is Friday, February 17th at the time of this recording, but the hangout and all our insights that we share today will probably be kind of prescient for a few weeks. So whenever you happen to be catching us here, welcome. And this is the show for extraterrestrials stranded on Earth. So I assume that's you guys in the audience as well as Mario and myself. So
hmm
yeah. And of course, everyone at home, I'm sure, remembers our our resident Salsa Shaman, Mario Mijares, proprietor of Starseed Salsa, that is regionally famous in Arizona and California.
Oh yeah, I just had some of that salsa for lunch, actually.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Awesome. Seems kind of good. Seems kind of smart to be filling your body with Ayurvedic medicine, especially at such a like prescient time. It's just such a fucking moment, isn't it? Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom and I just finished a massive pot of cabbage soup. I've been trying to help her lose weight
Yeah.
because she's got a big um, move coming up here soon. So I'm just trying to help her with that process. She's a big woman. She's a real big woman. And so I've been making her this cabbage soup. And so the deal is, so cabbage is a fat burning food, and it's really healthy. And you make this big pot of soup with other veggies in it and just nice bone marrow broth. And that's all you eat for all your meals for 5 to 7 days. And you drop like 10 to 15 pounds. And this was her second month doing the soup, and last month she lost 20 pounds, and because she was like almost 400 pounds,
Oh wow.
and so that's whether if it's salsa or soup. I do my best to use food as the way for medicine. I mean, I'm not the best at it. I'm not going to say like I'm super healthy, and you go to my kitchen and you'll see it's like, like a vegan paradise. That's not it. I got bacon in there. I got mayonnaise and mustard. I like to eat, but at the same time as that awareness of understanding, the body, what the body needs, and understanding, the poison that's in the foods, and just being able to moderate and discern for yourself. That's my attitude around it.
I love that. Yeah, because I'm am I resonate with the Mediterranean diet. And speaking of like farmland and stuff of that nature, I mean, what a fucking week it is to be an American this week, right? Where just like train derailment, chemical spill, oil spill, and it gets you thinking about the whole ecosystem that we participate in. Like, stuff grows in the ground, I take water from the earth, like it goes in my body absorbs it, I pee pee poo poo it out. It is kind of a like it's a moment that's given me pause, right? Where you're just like, is the crap we put in us safe? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but then again, maybe it's a great moment of illumination and awakening where it's just like, oh, like we got nasty stuff all around us and we need to take care of Gaia a little bit better. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a new moon and Pisces thing or what. Like, what's coming up with the astral weather?
Oh man. I mean, I'll tell you some stuff about the new moon in Pisces, but on this whole food thing, last month when the egg scarcity started, that was another interesting thing with what they've been putting in the feed for the chickens, and chickens not laying eggs, and a couple of like the nation's largest chicken egg distributors burnt down. And for like a whole week I got paranoid that I have been eating fake eggs from China. And I started reading like researching how to know if your eggs are real or fake, and every time I go to the grocery store and I'm about to buy eggs, I always pick them up and shake them because apparently, if it's a real egg, there's nothing you shouldn't be hearing anything shake or splash inside. But if you do, then that's a fake egg, and you should put that down. Actually, throw it in the trash. And I got so obsessed around this egg thing for a couple of weeks that um, I eventually had a dream about it. I had a dream that my partner um, brought home some fake eggs, and I got upset. And I was like, "Babe, I told you the protocol on how to figure out if the eggs are real or not before you buy them. Why didn't you follow the protocol? You brought home fake eggs." But so it's just like, what has come to the world? What has happened to the world where like now we're just tripping and stressed out about our fucking eggs and whether or not if it's real, and if we're eating fucking some strange epoxy glue, and plastic rice, and I don't know, man. It's it's
Makes
overwhelming
you
sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds you of the fakery of this world, right? Where you're
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, even the fucking eggs are plastic here. Really makes you wanna like bring shit local. You know what I mean? Like I've been
Mhm.
stopping. There are a couple of farm stands near where I live, and it's just like chickens and ducks can't stop shitting out eggs. So I'm like living in egg paradise where I am at. Just the most delicious damn eggs you've ever had from Happy Chickens from 5 feet away. So, and it's kind of funny. Like, it would make sense to, like, if you're gonna fuck with the food supply, fuck with eggs because it's the most bioavailable protein you can get, and it's just like your body's just like, oh, I got like lots of places I could put these nutrients when
Mhm.
you eat and digest eggs. So it is kind of
Well,
like, oof.
apparently what was figured out, what was found out is that eggs that the nutrients in the egg yolk,
Hmm.
um, it it's it does a really good job at fighting against the coronavirus. And so, if yeah, so it does a really good job at protecting the immune system and fighting off the Rona. And so I guess why not? Okay, we have to eliminate chickens because we want everybody to get sick and catch the Rona. I don't know whether or not if all this is actually true. I'm not sure, but
Makes you wonder though,
it makes
makes
me
you
wonder.
gives one pause. Yeah. But I mean, there's just I mean, there's a if anyone wants a dollop of fear programming, they don't really have to cast a wide net to find some. You know what I
No,
mean? It's just
yeah.
on the airwaves, in our newspapers, on our social media sites. It's a little bit strong, and it makes me wonder, like, how to weather the storm. Like, if we're just being bombarded with crisis after scary thing after scary thing. Like, it's hard to think ascension minded and be like, oh, humans are upgrading or we are leveling up. But also, it seems like the place is falling apart. It seems like that doesn't compute. You know what I mean? Am I
Mhm.
making any sense?
No, perfect sense, especially if you live in a city like where I live here in Los Angeles. It's hard to see, the collective in that lens of like, oh, we're all evolving, because what I see here on a daily basis is like entitlement, disconnection, and just this weird LA, Southern California attitude. But then when you find your little pockets of community, you see like, oh, it is happening. People do love, people do care. And what was it you were saying? Like all the like how to navigate all the fear and
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like I've been thinking a lot this week where it seems like things are getting more peaceful and true, and like truths are coming forward, but also there's like much chaos, right? And it just seems like incongruent. So I wasn't making a big grand point or working towards anything grand, but but I don't know. It just seems prescient with the local like astrological weather we seem to be experiencing as of now. Like it seems like as you look at an astrological chart and you look at February 2023 and the goings ons, you're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me pull up a chart right now, actually.
Okay.
Am I
Yeah,
able
because
to screen share?
you can click share screen down on the little below thing. I can also pull up,
Okay, I see.
and I have. Oh, there we go. Doop.
Okay, you see all this?
Yes.
All right, we'll break it down one by one here, starting with focusing on the new moon. So the new moon is going to be 1 degree Pisces, February 19th, this Sunday. Um, Sun and moon, 1 degree Pisces. Saturn is going to be here at 28 degrees Aquarius. We got a couple more weeks of Saturn being in Aquarius. Once Saturn moves into Pisces, it's definitely going to be a noticeable shift in the collective conscious. One, because Saturn is a pretty heavy hitting, maleficent planet, and it spends about 3 years in one sign. Saturn first entered Aquarius back in 2020, and when Saturn first entered Aquarius, that's when we also were like first experiencing lockdowns and suppression of information and stay inside. So it's going to be really interesting to see um, what happens in these final weeks of Saturn in Aquarius, because every time Saturn is getting ready to make an exit out of a sign and move into the next, um, it's like there's like a little bit of a whiplash, like a little bit of a little bit of a slapping sting, that just kind of reminds you of certain serious tones and attitudes that you need to not forget about. Um, it's like the lessons, pretty much like don't forget these lessons you've learned over the last couple of weeks here. I mean, couple of years with Saturn being in Aquarius. Um, so the fact that this new moon is happening in the very early degrees, 1 degree of Pisces, is kind of like setting the stage up for Saturn getting ready to move into Pisces. Um, Pisces here, and we can also see that during this new moon. So the new moon begins this Sunday, and the energy carries on for the next couple of days. So then, going into Monday, we're going to have the moon cross over Neptune and cross over Venus here in Pisces. Though by the time the moon actually catches up with Venus, Venus might be in Aries, and the moon will probably meet with Venus in Aries as well, which is going to be a really nice change of things. Okay, so what is all that? What does all that mean? Um, Basically, like this new moon in Pisces right here,
Mm-hmm.
it's how you say is it's going to bring forward a manifestation. New moons are all about manifesting, and Pisces is shoot, hold on. Where am I? Lost myself a little bit. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little bit I don't know if we can zoom it. Yeah, I'm trying to make it like more vertical.
Oh, I see. I keep messing it up when I do that.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yep. And then this chart is today, right? Or is it new moon?
This is new moon. This is
Okay.
February 19th at 11:30 p.m. That is the approximate time of this new moon happening. So even right now, leading up to this new moon, um, where let's look at today. Okay, so right now the moon is at 26 degrees Capricorn, getting ready to cross over Pluto. This is pretty intense. This happens once a month when the moon is getting ready to pass over Pluto. Anytime any planet is going to cross over Pluto, it's a moment of transformation. It's a moment of needing to reveal certain aspects or things that are just hiding or still operating in the unconscious. Pluto is the great revealer. So every month when the moon transits Capricorn and has to meet with Pluto, the moon representing our intuition, our subconscious, our more feminine side, goes through a sort of a death phase, a dying and a rebirthing phase. And Pluto being at 29 degrees Capricorn is a very intense moment because uh, Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008,
Oh, wow.
2008, and now it's 2023. So it's taken that long for Pluto to reach all the way to the 29th degree of Capricorn, which means that this Pluto and Capricorn transit, it's getting ready to finish revealing everything that it's needed to reveal to to humanity around Capricorn themes, which is government, corporations, banks, military, all types of like massive powers of structures and systems that place rules and limitations on people and society. So with the moon right now at 26 degrees Capricorn, getting ready to cross over Pluto, this is what this is basically doing right now is it's a one it's allowing us to drop more weight, to go through a little bit of an ego death. The moon meeting with Pluto just after the sun met with Saturn together. It's kind of like this, it's in the cosmic weather. It's just like not having a hard time feeling it, having a hard time feeling like light and uplifted because the sun crossing over with Saturn, it's always a period of like, oh man, like there's too much for me to do. There's too much responsibilities in a day for me to do and not enough time in the day to do it. And then with the moon meeting with Pluto, it's like it could be this just like this melancholy attitude towards things. But this moon crossing over with Pluto is just setting the stage for when it has to go into Aquarius. So the moon will enter Aquarius at tonight at 9:34 tonight. So when the moon, right before the moon moves into Aquarius at 9:34 p.m. tonight, it's the moon basically is going to die and then rebirth herself in the sign of Aquarius. And it's going to be interesting because it's like, you know, from now into the buildup of later this evening, it's like, oh, I just, because like how you and I were talking today. Hold on,
Hmm.
I'm gonna end the screen share here.
Oh, yeah. I got that.
Yeah. So like how you and I were talking over the last few days is like kind of feeling stuck. That's another word for it, like, kind of feeling stuck, kind of feeling like, "Oh, I'm not sure what I'm doing or what to do, at the moment."
Hmm.
And so it's setting that stage up. So we can do that emotional work to just whatever is there that is creating that weight to just kind of eliminate itself. Then going when the moon goes into Aquarius, we're getting ready to enter the balsamic phase, and the balsamic phase is always
Sounds
that
delicious.
24. Yeah, balsamic and vinegar. But that's always a time of it's always the couple hours, like 24 hours build up towards the new moon or the full moon. And that's like when the universe or the planets are just kind of like packaging everything up
Mm.
for the manifestation or for the lesson that needs to happen there. Um, yeah, am I making any
No, you
sense?
100% are, yeah. Because it feels like that feels very of the moment. It's almost teeing up it's queuing up what's about to actually drip into physical reality, and it's almost like kind of stacking itself for that. Did I digest that correctly? Um,
Yeah.
you always seem to like, anytime I call, like, so Mario's like my therapist, pretty much, like getting me through some moments. And it's so funny. I'll just be like, this is happening right now. And Mario's like, oh, yeah, because like, ba bump, ba bump, ba bump. And you go, oh, wow. Like, who knew the machinations of what's happening celestially, transits and what have you, really has a lot to do with our day-to-day lived lives, and very individually too, like Delaware, um, India, South America, wherever the fuck you are. There seems to be like a vibe of the moment or a frequency of the moment, and this seems to be that. Everything you're describing seems to be playing out where I tend to take the pulse of where the conversation's going. So like Reddit or Telegram or this or that, people really seeing a little bit behind the curtain with regards to the coziness between corporations and government, and the toxicity that we didn't realize is in everything around us. So, as these things come to light and it's really awkward and uncomfortable, there's also like a liberation in that. There's also a freedom in that, and we almost seem to be reclaiming that. We're reclaiming our divine sovereignty. It seems to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and this oh man, this Aquarius season
Yeah.
has like really lived up to its title of awkward and weird energies.
Yeah, it has.
And it's funny because like right now the sun is at 29 degrees Aquarius, so it's like getting ready to leave Aquarius and go into Pisces. And this whole month of the sun moving through Aquarius with Saturn, and now Mercury now being in Aquarius, it has been a little bit of an awkward um, period, a little bit awkward, pretty very cringy. I've found myself in lots of situations where like I'm with like a social group or something, and I'm just having to like embrace the cringe and move through it, and it's been a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like even right now, being on camera, there's just this awkwardness, within self, which is beautiful all at the same time. Nothing wrong with it. It's just part of the lesson of that Aquarius season teaches us, which is to, embrace who you are and don't be afraid to just let all of who you are out, even if it's quirky or socially awkward and unacceptable. Just your true vibe attracts your soul tribe, and so this Aquarius season has like really, I don't know, I has for me personally has really put me in those positions of like just fuck it, I'm just gonna let it all out. Like a week ago, or was it last 2 weeks ago, I I went to a San Pedro ceremony, Wachuma, which is like
Oh,
it's a cactus. San Pedro's like it's not peyote, but it's like a similar medicine, like peyote. And my friend is hosting the ceremony, and I show up. and there's about 20 or 25 people there. And he showed very early in the morning, and we get the ceremony started and open the portal and everything. And I had a horrible allergy flare up that whole day of the ceremony. And there I am, like giving away my car keys and my wallet and starting to ingest this cactus juice that, changes the that changes my state of mind. And I'm starting to, go down on this, inward psychedelic journey. And as I'm doing that, like the backyard that I'm in, I'm going through a massive allergy flare up where snot is running down my nose, my eyes poof up and get all red, and I get this massive pounding headache, and I can't breathe.
God.
And so I'm in this field with like a bunch of other people that I hardly know, and I'm just constantly blowing my nose and sneezing, and there was no way out of it. It's like once you take the medicine, it's like you have to ride it out, because what are you gonna do? Drive to Mars? Like you're
Yeah.
tripping on cactus juice. But anyways, it was a very awkward experience. And Aquarius season.
But hey, like you said, embrace the cringe, or almost as I want to put it, unapologetic embodiment,
Yeah.
right? Like, just at the end of the day, you're just like, you know what? Like, fuck you, tits out. Here we are. Like, just it is what it is. And that's supposed to be, yeah, it's that thing I am an Aquarius sun. So I have that. But then I'm also like fussy. So I'm like neurotic and fussy and optics oriented. But then I'm just like, whatever. So, you know what? Like, this tis the season, bitch. Just like, is what I is, and if you don't like it, you are released from my orbit. And if you like it, come hang out in my orbit, Like, I don't know.
Mhm,
So,
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was a interesting lesson. When I came home that night and explained everything to Shelly, um, because Shelly does human design, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not an expert in that realm, but one of the things I remembered that Shelley has told me about my human design chart is that if I show up to spaces when I don't emotionally feel that charge to be there, then it gets noticed. Like then I show up to that space with like an aura that affects the whole environment,
Huh.
where where it's like where I'm awkward in the environment, or other people also feel awkward in the environment. Shelly can explain it better than I can, but I remember that's one of the things that I have in my human design chart. And 24 hours before the day of this Wachuma ceremony, I wasn't feeling it. And I kept going through the mind battle of like, I don't know if I want to go. I'm not really feeling it, but I've already committed. And, I want to support my friend who's hosting this ceremony, and blah, blah, blah. And I was resistant and unsure about wanting to go until the whole day before, and leading up to it, to the point where I even couldn't find my car keys for like 45
Oh,
minutes
it's like the universe
to
telling you, like, no. Yeah.
don't go, right? Don't go. And
Mm.
so, but what do? I show up, and even before taking the cactus, taking the medicine, there was something off in my brain where I just wasn't like communicating well with the people there. And I was like, you know what, this is gonna be one of those days where I'm just gonna isolate myself here. And and then the allergy flare up kicks in, and then like several people kept checking in on me, like, are you okay? I'm sending you prayers, brother. Like, do you have COVID? I'm worried about you,
Yeah,
you
they're on,
know.
like, yeah, especially a sniffle in this day and age is like,
Right.
oh
So now,
god.
like, I changed this whole environment, being the only person there, having a massive, massive allergy flare up, where everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, look at him just blowing his nose and running through that tissue box and sneezing everywhere. This is kind of messing with my own high, with my own experience with this cactus
Oh
juice."
yeah. Oh god. But as goes Mario, so goes the rest of the room. Like you. I mean, you have a contagious air about you. Like, you're always like it's always edifying and uplifting. For the most part. I mean, comical in this context that you're telling me about, but
Yeah, yeah,
by and large, you
yeah,
really are. You are like contagious. Yeah. That's funny. And now everyone's just like, "Oh, you're harshing our mellow, dude." Oh, that's
yeah.
too bad. Oh man.
I know I even, like, had to end the ceremony earlier. I just kept going up to my friend and the host saying, like, you know what, like, I need to go. I have to go home. Like, look at me. I'm in massive discomfort and my head is exploding. Like, I can't breathe. And
Man.
and so I kind of like insisted, you know, 3 times we have to end the ceremony now because my friend was like, you can't just leave because the portal is open and the medicine is in you, and things can happen. Things can happen to you, and that could be dangerous. Like, we have to properly close the circle, close the portal to send and clean your spirit and send you off. And I'm like, well, can we do that? Can we close the circle then? Because I gotta go, bro. He's like, well, it's 2 hours ahead of schedule, but the medicine works through people. So I'm guessing the medicine through you is telling me that it's time to close the circle. And I'm just like, whatever, bro, let's go. Respectfully, respectfully.
Oh
Anyways,
man. Oh god. It does seem like somehow it's like not the best. It doesn't feel like the most ideal time to be like I feel like taking any sort of either hallucinogen or plant medicine or anything like that is like somehow it's not the best time. Like it's really like the weather is a little crazy out there, and when you ingest something that opens you up, like you're almost opening up to like that, like everybody's going through it. And if
hmm
you've already figured your shit out, you're almost like opening yourself up to everyone going through it right now. It
hmm
seems like, I don't know.
hmm
Just like pot isn't as fun right now. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but you know, so
yeah.
I just killed the conversation.
No, no,
Harsh
no.
is mellow. Um,
Yeah.
oh my god. Well, this is I love opportunities to have happy hour with cosmic souls like you, because it's just it's like a good ritual to just stop in the middle of the week or at the end of the week and just be like, let's put the week to bed. And what do we got going up on our plate? And you had the best fucking idea in preparation for this happy hour, but it's like, why don't we do like a card pull? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a pull from an oracle deck or a tarot deck. Um, it's like you can like pull one card, right? Like you don't have to do a whole spread because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing like at all.
No, just pull one card.
Just pull one card. So I'm wondering, yeah, you'll join me in that, right?
Hmm
I've got here today the Syrian Starseed Tarot. I'm thinking that could be
Nice.
kind of a fun deck to be pulling from, especially since Sirius seems to be the star heritage with which I am resonating a lot. And I also have the little reference book. So, okay. So, I want you to choose it. So I'm thinking maybe I do a really crazy thing of like, um, I just keep taking chunks and kind of shuffling in a messy way. And we go for a little while. And when you say stop, I will take whatever is on top at the moment, and that is the card we go with. Does that sound good?
Oh, that sounds great.
Okay, great.
All right.
All right. So now I'm doing my like kind of cutting the deck. Um, messing with stuff. I shuffled it a little bit earlier. I'm not good at shuffling. I should shut up. Do, 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 do.
Okay, that one.
This one? Okay.
That
I was almost feeling that. All right.
one.
Oh, okay. We have here the Sage of Chalices. The
Ooh.
Sage of Chalices. All right, let's look this up. Now we have to find it. So the Sage of Chalices. That is the card that we just pulled. The Sage of Suit of Chalices 49. Okay. 49. 49. The ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9 of chalices, 10 of chalices. God damn it. It's here somewhere. We are just riveting TV here, aren't we? Everyone go refill your drink. It's like, God damn.
Check it out.
I just don't know the book enough. Okay, the Suit of Chalices. Okay. Ace of Chalices, 2, 3, 4. They're doing this thing where like I pulled a card and it's like living somewhere else. Come on. Ace of Chalices. Sage of Chalices. I love these people, but they are killing me. Is it a major arcana? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what a sage is. Emotional. Suit of Flames. Higher Self. Indigo. Reason. This is. I'm creating riveting TV. Ace of Crystals. 2 of Crystals. What the hell is this stuff? Flames, the Seeker, the Adept, the Master, the Sage. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. This I'm going to read from the Sage, and then we'll read about chalices. Okay, so we have the Sage of Chalices. The Sage is the ultimate female authority. However subtly or powerfully she demonstrates her deep understanding of the suit she represents, which is chalices here. Some think of her as the great mother or matriarchal leader. Surely she has journeyed far on her path and has accomplished great inner experience, knowing spirit. She has an impressive ability to guide others, healing, teaching, and serving as a guide. The sage is the female counterpart to the master. The yin aspect of his yang. She is a queen, a priestess, a medicine woman, and earth mother. She offers all the archetypal figures of those role models of the feminine power, appearing at a time when we are moving into the great cycle of yin vibration as an expression of Gaia's rebirthing into her higher reflection. So that is what we pulled. It's very feminine, like two dudes pulling a Earth Mother card.
Yeah, it's funny the card because the chick, she's very much doing the whole tits out thing too.
That's a good point. Where she's just sitting in the water with her like crystal chalice. I wonder who the model was for that. And then chalices. What do we care about? Why do we care about chalices? It corresponds to the element of water. Duh, wet t-shirt contest. Whether resting still, a deep dark well, or bending and swirling over rocks in the stream, water in all its manifestations has one unifying aspect. It takes the form of whatever contains it, which is very Aquarian, with the water bearer. This is an underlying aspect of this suit, and it is a great and simple metaphor for our own emotional bodies. The chalices are the containers, but the element, the water, is the representation of the emotions, the seductive lure of the psyche, and the illusory nature they both contribute to our experience. Is the chalice full and overflowing with emotion? Or is it lying broken on the ground, the water running away? This is the suit that speaks to many aspects of our emotional experience and the range of that experience, depicted in the state of water in each key. It is reflective at times, elusive at others. It speaks of love in its heights and sadness in its lows. It is endlessly seeking balance, which I guess is like water, right? Water always seeks its own level. So
Mhm.
it's very watery and it's very feminine. That's funny. Makes me want to go run a bath. Um,
Yeah.
oh, ooh, we're getting some great insights.
Yeah, it's original
Oh,
intent a
yes,
poet.
yes. Let's pull these up. Thank you.
Pull the hand.
All right. At the same time, we got the Hangman. Hangman is a major arcana for sure, but I don't know the reading. Ooh, ooh. So I love when we pulled at the same time because Mario, you felt compelled. So we also
Mhm.
pulled the Hanged Man, having done the same shuffle and stopping when Mario said. Um, so Hangman is major arcana for sure, but I don't know the reading. But I think we do expand on that. The hanged man upright, meaning the hanged man usually indicates a lack of ability to help oneself through independent action. The energy is arrested and awaiting judgment. Bitch, we were talking about this
Yeah,
earlier. That sort of like
yeah, for
stuck
reals.
zone.
Uh-huh,
Um,
uh-huh.
this is better than the card I pulled. Oh, they're all
It
good.
is.
Yeah, which Kai do it.
It's more on point for it,
Um,
kinda.
with this card, there is no avenue for the will to regain control until the situation has passed. This represents a good time to be philosophical, to study, and to meditate. Um,
Mhm.
Only those who possess wisdom, patience, and optimism will be able to see through limitations, including possible humiliation, to grasp the inspiring lesson one can gain from such experience. So we had pulled the Hanged Man, upright, Major Arcana, and we pulled the Sage of Chalices from a specific Syrian Starseed Tarot deck. And these seem to be like, aren't tools of divination just a lot of fucking fun? Like, isn't this great
Yeah.
how the universe can kind of speak to us? Like, there's a communicatory aspect between what seems to be a random game of chance, which is just pulling a random card from a random deck. Like, you know, why
Mhm,
would the
mhm.
universe care about such a mundane event? But when you pull with intent, you really pull like a communication for the moment, and it feels like it's
Yeah.
extra dimensional or extra sensory communication. Like you're communicating with something, spirit or God knows what source. I don't know.
And you know what's crazy also about the card he pulled, the Hangman, is last night in my sleep, because you know how the card the Hangman looks is the man hanging upside down, and then he has one leg that's kind of like bent with the heel to the knee, kind of
Hmm.
how that is. So I woke up in my sleep in that hangman position, and I remember thinking, I was like, what is it's like, does it mean anything that I'm waking up in my sleep in laying down in the hangman position? I don't know. And so it's just, I don't know, it's weird because I like actually had that thought and that experience in my sleep last night and waking up in the hangman position, and it's just like really weird and interesting that another person who's here with us watching, yeah, I was sleeping like that, and I woke up like that, and I was like, okay, what's going on? What does this mean to be waking up in your sleep in the hangman position? And so
That's
it's funny. I love that this guy, the original intent, pulled the card, and I love the part that's like the energy is arrested and awaiting judgment. You know,
yeah.
with this card, there is no avenue for the will to regain control until the situation has passed. This represents a good time to be philosophical, to study and meditate. And that's yeah, that's where I feel not just myself, but that's where I feel like a lot of us, in the same vortex of collective, you know, evolution and just processing everything. And that's where I feel like a lot of us are, is just like in this sort of hanged position where it's like I can't go anywhere because I'm kind of hanging upside down on one foot here, but and everybody could see me, and my shirt is falling off, and now everyone can see my belly and and my furry man titties. So this is awkward. But hey, let me just close my eyes and meditate and process the steps that led me to this situation here, and what can I do to get out of it.
Yeah, it's good to know that I've been feeling moments of paralysis. Just like, okay, if I just like freeze and I just don't fucking move, everything will just be kind of okay, or we'll just kind of like suss it out or get a feel for it. And it's good to know it's like, oh, okay, that's that's what's happening in the field right now. Like it's not just me, it's the flavor of the moment, and there's something kind of nice about that, like an acceptance of it. Like maybe that's a fine
Yeah,
place to be in right now and to hang. And then
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
wait for the shoe to drop. I don't know, not like in terms of fear paralysis, but just sort of like I don't know what's like good to do, you know.
Yeah, well, last night, before last night when I was sitting with my family, we were watching a presentation on Gaia TV, and like as we were watching this, I'm also like having this weird astral experience where my mental energy is wanting to project all this like negativity to like other things in the world, other situations or other people. But every time I was like running one direction, projecting, like I just met a mirror. And then basically, like my consciousness up here was like surrounded by a circle of mirrors. And it's like, because it's interesting because at the same time I'm having this experience, I'm watching this presentation on the Stonehenge. And so, it's like these mirrors were kind of reminding me of the Stonehenge that I was watching. And basically I was like having this experience that was helping me ascend my consciousness to this next plane, which is what I feel Saturn moving into Pisces is going to be like, where we hit a wall, we hit the mirror with all of our projections about everything. And Saturn being in Pisces is like going to be this 3-year long transit of like learning to sit still and meditate and go within, and like just enough with the bullshit, enough with the stories, enough with the crying, enough with the just this whole like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
Like not woe is me, but just sort of like instead of like lamenting, almost owning and alchemizing and fixing
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, so there's this Chinese proverb. I don't remember the words exactly, but it's something like, like a fool blames other people, and then like and then a wise one stops. You know what? Never mind. I don't even remember the proverb. But the ending is like, but the master realizes the master says nothing. The master has nothing to complain about, and so it's like, I don't know. I was reaching there.
No, no, no. It's good. It's good, and it kind of it dovetails with a something I pulled. I pulled a quote earlier today. Something leapt out at me, and I was like, "Oh, this seems like something that I kind of want to share." And this dovetails with that, which is something I'll share here. But with regards to the crazy moment we're in, the news on TV, the card pull we just did that belies that like we're all feeling a little bit like frozen or we're feeling like this or that. um there's a lot of like when I'm engaging in Starseed discourse on Reddit and in certain forums and places, um, I'm getting a sense of people being like, you know, like if things are so good, then why is it so crazy out there? Or like I can't be happy until everything on my TV is sunshiny. And right now I'm seeing a lot of chaos in East Palestine, Ohio, or over
Mhm.
here, or war in Eastern Europe and stuff like that. And there's a funny sort of like you don't have to fucking wait for the external world to fix itself before you get the party started. And I'll share with you a bit, an excerpt from a channeling that a woman channeled from, I think, an extraterrestrial consciousness. But let's take a look. Um, she says here, this is Mashubi Shikina, and she wrote in her blog post "Widening Your Capacities," found at worldblessings.org, and it's shared on a few aggregator sites. Divine joy does not require an optimal environment. It simply exists because you exist. Like that leapt out at me. Dearest beloveds, divine joy is also a cellular experience that comes more and more as each miraculous part of your embodied being vibrates more and more in harmony with this new divine light that is establishing itself on the holy earth. Like a plant that's
Mm.
been placed in a new soil, your roots can now expand and grow and reach towards the sun in new ways. We encourage you to find these new ways that exist that are being presented to you. The divine light of the One, which kind of harkens to Law of One, the divine light of the One exists in multiple dimensions and can anchor more directly, more fully within your physical form. So, that key sentence again: divine joy does not require an optimal environment. It simply exists because you exist. I think this is like a great way to just like, if everyone can just start like establishing their own heaven, and even if heaven is just like a 1 foot parameter, like 1 foot perimeter around you, like whatever, like this little column is heaven. Like it could be just like insane hell everywhere, but like right here my kitchen table is heaven, or like my little room is heaven, or like me and my cat in our little corner. We're just gonna embody heaven on earth codes. Like that will be like, that is the contagion that needs to like spread like wildfire. Like if everyone's going to go on a cruise ship and get norovirus and puke everywhere because that is wildly contagious, this can be contagious too. Like just
Mhm.
not consenting to any other realm but heaven. Like Earth is a heavenly realm. It is a heaven planet. It's kind of trashed. We've trashed it, and we've certainly trashed it a lot this week. Like today, everybody's getting like poison acid rain in Boston and the Maritimes and shit. But
Mhm.
this is a heaven planet, and all we have to do is consent to that and not consent to anything else, and we could just watch everything just kind of wash away. Like our manifestation abilities are really strong, and we do not give ourselves enough manifestation credit. We always validate a bad manifestation or the worst case scenario, and we never validate the best case scenario. We're never like, we're always paranoid, but we're never pronoid, or pronoia is
Mhm.
like the opposite of paranoid. We should just be like, ooh, there is a conspiracy for a party, and then just like let the party, happen. So
Yeah.
that's something I wanted to share. Like that's my little spiritual moment of the day. I feel like a little Mormon missionary being like, here's a scriptural thought. But what the fuck are you gonna do with that?
Uh-huh.
So
I found the Chinese proverb.
yeah, share it.
So it's he who blames others has a long way to go on his journey. He who blames himself is halfway there. He who blames no one has arrived.
He who blames himself along on the journey, he who blames others.
is halfway there.
And then what's the third?
And then he who blames no one has arrived.
Fucking there you go. That is that is brilliant. You know, it's just like, yeah, like just
So going back to the hangman thing,
mm-hmm,
it's like okay, here I am suspended in this awkward position, this awkward reality,
mm-hmm.
and having to like, run through every scenario. It's like, okay, like, those bastards hung me here, all because like, I got too drunk at the pub and, called that woman a bitch and, now they put me here and I'm smarter than everybody, but they just can't see it, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, you know what? You need to be put on timeout and just to be hung here upside down for a little bit so you can, figure some shit out for a moment. And it's funny because like this is you can kind of see this everywhere in people's lives happening, to in various different situations.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfolding in a lot of unique ways. Like we're all individuals, but we all seem to be just kind of same story, different characters. It seems like, oh my God. Well,
Yeah.
as we bring our happy hour to a close, and we'll be, and for everyone on here, join us again a couple weeks from now. We'll be hopping on every couple weeks and having conversations as conversations arise. But before we bring the happy hour to a close, is there any sort of like thought form that comes to mind, or just some sort of like keep an eye out for dot 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 that comes to mind for you, Mario?
um see I'd say just keep doing your little things that you have to do every day to win, it's like with everything going on, don't don't suddenly stop breathing. Don't suddenly stop your little exercises or your little routines, your daily habits that keep you feeling good. Drink your smoothies and do your breathing exercises, take your vitamins.
Keep investing in that mind, body, soul of yours. Yeah, because it's your it's your divine avatar, and you only get one
Yeah.
per incarnation. So um, I love that. That sounds good. And that's really great words of wisdom to hold on to as we enter pretty like we finish off a pretty interesting February, and we kind of gear up for probably a chaotic March. But all we can do is just kind of control ourselves and nourish ourselves. So I love that. Well, for everyone watching us today, thank you so much for joining us live. Thank you for joining us live for the card poll. The card poll from the audience was better than what we did. So that's what I love about this, like coming together like this. Be sure to we're Cosmic Jesters or Cosmic Jesters Show on all the socials. We began streaming to Rumble today, so we'll see how well that goes. And because YouTube doesn't like what we talk about most of the time.
Mhm.
And for anyone watching, please pay a visit to a website named Starseed. Starseedsalsa.com. Should have this teed up. This should show. Come on. Anyway, it is not showing. Starseedsalsa.com. That's where you can engage with the Salsa Shaman here with me. You can engage with the Salsa Shaman in natal chart readings, hypnotherapy, and other like digital or in-person stuff. And you can also like buy his delicious ass salsa and get it shipped to your house. Incredible, delicious, cosmic salsa.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
All right. And then I have it pulled up. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Finally, Starseed Salsa. So come join the
Yes.
Salsa Shaman and join the Salsa Shaman and I 2 weeks from now. All right.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
All
Alex.
right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.